Hello everybody and welcome back to Screen Stars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2019 horror science fiction film Doom Annihilation. A film that is written and directed by Tony Giglio and stars quite a few people you've probably never heard of, so I won't bore you by telling you the cast list. Now, Doom as a gaming franchise is one of the most beloved of all time. I think that's fair to say. Fans of games and gaming in general would pretty much agree with me. And it's made a bit of a comeback these last 3 or 4 years. The last 2 Doom games have been pretty impressive. Its run on the big screen though, Doom, has been far less successful. It was brought to the big screen in the early noughties, I believe it was, with the rock Carl Urban version of Doom, which wasn't particularly well received, and now it is back again. However, this time it's direct to DVD, video on demand film, so make of that what you will. Is it of low quality? Well, I'll tell you a little bit about the story first. This film focuses on a bunch of space marines who head off to, I think it's some kind of moon base. There's some kind of punishment they've got to patrol around there. However, what they don't realise is that there's been some crazy scientists on this moon base experimenting with things they shouldn't have been experimenting with, and essentially they have opened a door to hell or some demonic dimension sort of thing. So when they get to the base, as you can imagine, things aren't quite as they should be. Most of the people in the base are missing or dead, and they've got to then fight for survival, these space marines, to get through this base and get out alive. That's it. That's your story. Now, it's a long time since I've seen the first Doom film, the one with The Rock and Carl Urban. But this film felt so strikingly similar in many ways. It just literally felt like almost a remake to me. I could be wrong. I haven't watched the first Doom in preparation for this review. It just felt like it was exactly the same story in many ways. Now, I know to some degree you are limited to the story you can tell because they have to be respectful to the gaming franchise. And the story I've just described is essentially the Doom games. It just didn't feel particularly original, and this film in general just didn't feel particularly original. It just felt like kind of a cheap version of that first film and the Doom franchise to me. That's not to be said that there isn't some fun to be had with this film, because there certainly is. There are some impressive effects at times. It's almost like there's different waves of enemies, very much like the game, you could argue. And the first wave of demons, are the least impressive. It's like humans with they look like those Marvel creatures in the Captain Marvel film. I forget the name of them now. They look like them, a cross between them and some weird green-skinned alien. They weren't particularly impressive, and then from the next wave onwards they get more and more impressive. I thought the effects for the most part were pretty good. Apart from some of the sets looked like they were ripped straight from a 1970s episode of Doctor Who. They looked very plasticky and pretty cheap and quite unimaginative at times, some of the sets. And the cast, oh boy, the cast. One of the Marines at one point makes a crack about the movie Aliens, and he compares them and the situation they're in to that movie Aliens, which was mildly amusing, I guess. But the difference between Aliens and these Marines is you actually cared about those Marines in Aliens. You got the chance to know some of them quite well, and you got quite attached to them. The Marines in this film, for the most part, barring 2 or 3 of them, are just cannon fodder. They're there just to be munched up by demons. So it would seem like an odd comparison to make, because this film is as far removed from that movie Aliens as you could ever hope to be. It's not even in the same planet, never mind the same ballpark as that film. But it is one of those films, and I've said it before on certain film reviews that I've done, especially action sci-fi films. It's one of those films you can watch with your mates with a pile of beers and ordering a pizza. It's not bad, it's watchable and it's entertaining, but it's one of those films you can watch with your mates with some beers and pizza, and then as soon as it's finished you will immediately forget the film. It is not memorable, it's not original, it's not scary. You get some cheap jump scares in it. The action's adequately filmed, the story is exactly how you expect, and there's a couple of cool moments here and there, but they're few and far between. I think for the most part it's painfully average, this film. And even though the first Doom film with The Rock and Karl Urban was not well received at the time, I suspect when you compare the two, the first one is, considerably better than this, which it's not a great advertisement for this film, because the first film, I remember at the time, was quite slated by critics and it did nothing in regards to audience figures and box office. So that probably explains why this is, going straight to video on demand and Blu-ray stroke DVD. So that's my review for Doom Annihilation. I'll give it a 6 out of 10. Like I say, it is watchable and it's not bad. There's no terrible performances or anything. It's just painfully average for what it is, and it's exactly what you expect it to do. It doesn't give you anything new or exciting. So 6 out of 10 from me. Hope you enjoyed the review. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you did enjoy the review, don't forget to like and share. And of course, I will see you next time on the channel for another review on Screen Stars.